So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On second down, Kamara. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. 63 yards on the ground for him so far.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Out to his left. The left side complete to Troutman. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. From the red zone now, Winston. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Bears are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football?
And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bears use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Santos with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. In the first drive, they were moving the ball okay. Then the interception. Now time to regroup after giving up the score.
Yeah, I noticed him on the sidelines talking with one of...
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. And the Bears are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. He's got room at the 30. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 37 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Bennett. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's Fields. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Well, they got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. To throw, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Greedy Williams picks it off. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick-6 there, and they are off to the races here this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first-quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jalen Johnson.
Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, why we look at the defense? They came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bennett. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They run here with Jason Huntley. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On third down, here's Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal on their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 111 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. On first down, it's Bennett, and he's got some space here. The 20, 5, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around, not having that success. Might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
On third down, Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Santos with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick-6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
Here we go. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
That was actually throwing game 101 right there. You challenge double coverage like that, you're liable to get burned. Fortunate that was just incomplete.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. He's going to let it go again. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but he falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fielded at the 33. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And they will take over first and 10. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
174 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
They'll run on first down. Bennett.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And some room to work. 36 yards on the play. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on first down from the left hash. A chip shot here. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So more of the same here, CD. Not a touchdown, but 3 more points added on to their lead.
Yeah, it's been a total domination here in this first half. Offensively, defensively, even the special teams have chipped in as he connects on the field goal. It may be a little bit premature, but I think the only thing they're worried about dominating now, the post-game meal.
Here we go. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so. They need to help out the defense a little bit. They've got to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick six.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
From the 27, Garoppolo.
That's complete to Troutman, right side.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Throwing on first is Garoppolo.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10.
They'll get this out to Kamara. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston. Going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
To the air again with Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
Yeah, you heard it, right?
Exhale.
You heard the exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, if they can just tighten.
It's what they want to do. Tighten down everything they're doing and maybe explode at the right time.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Lutz now to kick this one away.
Khalil Herbert to return it from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Starting on the ground with Herbert. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Another carry for Herbert on second down.
And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down.
On third down, Herbert.
And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
A gain of 5. It's 4th down.
Here comes the Bears punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Pulled in at the 24. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Play action now. Winston. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the football, but now face second and long. Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They just do get the play off. Now Winston.
Open man is the tight end, Troutman.
An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Fourth down, Winston. Open man is Michael Thomas.
And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Throwing, Winston. And he'll go down. And the Bears get there for the sack.
Jalen Johnson blitzing from the secondary and picking up the sack.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Winston.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he is going to have a Saints first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Jameis now on first down. And that is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Winston. And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Now Herbert to start the drive.
And some room to run now.
And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him now. He's carried the ball just 5 times.
And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
On 2nd down, a run with Herbert.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Herbert once more.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds. They've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Winston. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Marquez Callaway, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Lutz with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From the end zone, here comes Herbert. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. They'll go again with Herbert. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Running with the fullback, Alex Arma. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. A handoff for Herbert. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. You know what? I know it's 4th down and they've got a big lead, but go for it.
Yeah, and why not, right? Because they have the big lead. But don't you have to have a little bit of admiration for these guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've been shoved around this entire game, and they're making a nice goal line stand here. It would be fun to see them stop them on 4th down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's like putting whipped cream on broccoli at this point.
So what you're saying is they're going to go for it on 4th down. They're going to get it, aren't they?
I would. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately,
The second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
A first down throw for Winston. That's Olave bringing in another one. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. On first and 10, it's Herbert. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all three timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today.